been gone for about 3 years. Time management is weird.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
What have you been doing with your time?
Well, I've been doing a lot of work, been doing some artwork also, since I've actually been forcing myself to draw while I'm on breaks.
DeviantArt has been going pretty poorly for me. I haven't posted anything new in an incredibly long time. I haven't really done anything art related in an incredibly long time. I mean, frankly, it's just gotten pathetic. How about you?
Me, I've been just sort of keeping up with it. Got a couple of accounts that I've actually been upkeeping. One of them paying more attention to than the other, but overall, it's been kind of lukewarm.
Yeah. See, the funny thing is that it seemed like when we were in high school, or when we were at least in our younger days, and not working 40, 50, 60-hour a week jobs, it was a lot easier to keep up with that stuff because even responding to comments or being sarcastic or trying to be funny and quippy even when you're not really being funny at all takes time, and it takes time and effort. And it's so much easier to, rather than drawing or rather than actually being expressive or actually even corresponding with another human being, to simply just waste time watching YouTube or playing a video game or not really doing anything of value whatsoever.
Well, not to mention that it was a lot easier when we were in like the same class next to some computers going, "Hey, look at this motherfucker."
Yeah, those were the good old days.
Man, I really miss that.
You know, it's gotten to the point recently where I can't help but feel like there is some sense of depression or just non-fulfillment occurring in my life because I have completely neglected to do anything artistic as of late. It's funny how a job or just any sort of employment or even any sort of just standard task can really drain the motivation out of you to really do anything creative after the fact. It seems like unless you actually have a job being creative, you have to force yourself to remain creative outside of that job.
Well, I'm not sure if that's 100% true because I remember back when I was unemployed, which was actually years ago, I wasn't able to really do any artwork during that time either because I was, well, feeling depressed because I wasn't working.
So what does it come down to then? Does it come down to a just general ability to stay motivated on it? Does it come down to how much time you have compared to how much input you have of life experiences? What is it that drives creativity and actually forces you to create art, create new things, versus just sitting on your lazy ass and jerking off?
Well, I mean, I really think that does have a valid point behind it where you're talking about that balance between input and free time. Recently, I've actually just been forcing myself to draw during my breaks and before work just to keep some sort of momentum behind me, because otherwise I won't force myself to do it while I'm at home. You know, if I've got something that I need to finish up at home, it works, but if it's just something that I'm trying to create at home from scratch, it just doesn't click.
Oftentimes when I come home, I've actually got either things that I need to be addressing, or even on my breaks and lunches at work, I actually have phone calls I need to make, things I need to be addressing, and things I need to actually just take care of anyway. So when it actually comes down to time to sit and I have the free time to actually sit and be creative, I'm emotionally drained. I don't have, even though I've had life experiences and things to talk about, things to express, I don't have any energy left within me to actually go out there and produce something, to make something of value. And it gets to be this miserable, endless cycle where the lack of creativity creates more depression, and the depression actually, therefore, creates even more of a lack of motivation to do anything. So it's just kind of like an endless cycle spewing down into ultimately doing nothing besides watching YouTube and occasionally masturbating.
You know, I actually know where you're coming from, and the way that I actually started fixing it for myself is I started drawing some fan art. And the reason that I started doing that, even though I was really strictly opposed to fan art beforehand, is because I actually took an art class a couple of semesters ago over at the downtown campus. And the art professor that I actually had that was talking to us about it was actually talking about painters going and actually recreating some old paintings like the Mona Lisa and stuff as practice. And it really just kind of got me thinking that a lot of these people who are just doing nothing but fan art, they end up getting really good at it. And the reason is because they have something to base what they're actually doing off of something else. And added to that, you don't have to think too much about fan art before doing it. You can actually find something that you can just do when you have no inspiration at all, and it'll actually
so you have enough material to reference off of, and you actually have some sort of goal and motivation behind it, and some way to actually you have a metric by which to judge your own art against by the original source material. So that way, and in whatever ways your art is, in whatever discrepancies your art has between that, it forces you to recognize the discrepancies and actually become a better artist as a result.
I know, and it's crazy because I didn't even think about it as that in that way up until I took that art class.
But see, the scary thing for me then is that what happens when you actually just get lost into doing nothing but fan art and then become totally unoriginal and lack a style of your own. It seems like in that case you need actually a healthy balance between trying to pursue your own characters, your own ideas, and your own creations, and actually pursuing fan art while all the time at trying to create your own style and have your own ideas. So for me, just like the sound of all that, trying to manage doing fan art, your own art, trying to improve as an artist, that's just entirely exhausting. I mean, I'm already tired thinking about it right now. For me, like, just speaking about this, I'm ready to go and watch YouTube videos and masturbate. Hey guys, this is Seven,
And this is the Dillard.
also known as
Craig.
and Nibbles. Hey, we want to thank you for watching the first episode of the 1 a.m. show. And as always,
Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe.
what do you mean rate?
You know, just like everybody else tells you on YouTube.
We're going to be premiering new episodes of the 1 a.m. show every other Wednesday, so go ahead and look out for that. In addition to that, we're also premiering a brand new show to the channel called Bacon Bits, so there's something else delicious to look forward to.
So stay tuned to Ruptured Studios, and we should have some great stuff rolling out right along the way.
Well, hopefully. If we don't get bored and distracted.
It'll happen.
Stay,
Goodbye, guys!